Oh, we're live. Oh. Hi.
How long have we been live?
6 seconds. It just went live as I was screwing the tripod on.
Did you do a preview thingy?
Yes, there's a preview image. It's pretty.
Okay.
And it just went live before I was quite ready. But hey, hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Cherie. Chris is going to show you some amazing Anchorage footage. We are first night back at Anchor after a 4-month stay in Sanford. I am going to share this event out real quick on social media. But he's going to give you a tour where we are, and then we're going to...
Maybe we'll see a manatee or an alligator.
I think I saw some right over there.
Okay, let's go. And here's our solar panels actually making electricity for us, too. And there's the two that did not get installed. If you're not following along too closely, you'll eventually catch up on that story. Here is Butcher's Bend, Anchorage. And... it is just beautiful here. We had a manatee swim under us earlier. Let's take a look forward. And, oh, I think I see something swimming over here. Something on the water over there. It's probably too far to see. Oh, good. I hear audio. We're broadcasting. Let's look out the front window. It feels so good to be back on the water. Well, okay, back at Anchor where our view keeps swinging and changing and swinging and changing. And, but it was also amazing to be in Sanford. So it's probably one of the hardest places we've ever had to leave because we had such an amazing time there. But we set off this morning and went all of 4.5 nautical miles down the river.
Is that it?
That's it.
Oh, wow, it seems like much more.
It was a very short trip. There we are. Oh, look. And there's a cat and a girl. So we just decided at the very last, just minutes ago, to say, hey, you know, it's actually 2 years to the day since we basically took possession of Why Not. So we decided to do a little live video because we're back on the water after a 4-month stop. Our first day living off summer and 2-year anniversary. So, hey, let's go live and hang out. Answer a few questions, just chat and share our view. So we don't actually have an agenda. We're just here, press the button and went go. And
Okay, I have shared on social media since
okay.
you're the one who does that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. Let me put the better microphone on and not drop the phone. There we are. Do you?
You're gonna probably want both of us.
Yes, we gotta both be at the same level. So you want to sit over here? Okay.
Well, why don't we?
Okay.
I've got the table.
Okay.
So we could put why don't you put it up there?
There we are.
We can both sit at the table.
There we are.
No, put it over there, and we'll both sit
Okay.
here.
Sounds great. Nope, don't squish the cat.
And no squishing cats. Ah, it feels good.
Notice my Sanford shirt.
It's Sanford sun. Had to get one before we left. Okay, it's a little wonky.
There we are.
All right. So we are just north of Sanford. Like Chris said, like less than 5 miles
Yes.
is all we cruised today.
Mm-hmm. If I send the drone up, I can actually see the little buildings in Sanford in the distance. So not far at all.
So if you've been watching the travelogues of us coming up the St. Johns River, this was the last Anchorage that we're at in the 3rd episode.
Right.
But that was back in October.
Right. So in YouTube time, we just got to Sanford, but yeah, we've been there for over 4 months and are now just departing. So eventually YouTube the non-live videos will catch up.
Yes, we have a lot of footage. We are so backlogged on content. Um, Sanford has been amazing and abundantly full of stuff to do. From events constantly going on, plays, musicals,
Yeah.
friends, a lot of our RVing community stopping in the area.
And then lots of boat projects. We did so many boat projects. And then work projects. We relaunched our day job work website. We completely overhauled all of that while we've been here. So there's been lots going on.
I think we didn't know at the time that we really just needed to be still for a while, but why not knew? Sanford knew, and it all conspired to make it happen. And we had an amazing 4-month stay in Sanford. Unfortunately, content kind of, I've been keeping up.
Yeah.
We got the trip here caught up, but there's so much more. We did a lot of filming in Sanford. We're looking forward to sharing what captured Sanford for us. I don't think we can ever fully capture it, but we're going to do our best.
No, it was magic. And if you're ever passing anywhere through Florida by boat or RV, Sanford, I consider it a must stop. Spend some time to get to know the town. And, well, now we're back on the river.
We're back on the river. And so yeah, we're going to take probably about 10 days or so to get back up to Jacksonville. And if you haven't, oh, hey, Joe's here. Joe was just on the boat.
He helped us install these solar panels.
Amazing, Joe. It was such, we got a lot of time with Joe, which was amazing.
Yes.
And he helped us with the solar installation, which was, I don't think we could have done it without him. Anyway, we are going to take about 10 days to get up to Jacksonville. And then if you haven't heard the news, we are going to be attending and presenting the Our Village Rally 2, which is in Live Oak, Florida, at the end of this month. So if you're going to that, we look forward to seeing you.
Yep. So looking forward to an actual RV event.
Yes, and we will be meeting up with the producer of the RVers TV show that we are involved in, and we'll actually be filming most of our segments on site at the Our Village Rally. So we're looking forward to that. And that show, if you want a quick status update on that, is been green lighted. They're amazing response to it, and they're actually pushing production to hopefully get out by this fall instead of winter. So, amazing.
And let's see what else.
So the reason of the video cast is
it's our 2-year anniversary.
Well, boativersary.
Boativersary, yes.
We're coming up on our 2-year wedding anniversary.
That's true. So. Yeah. We legally got married when we moved aboard the boat because why not?
But it was 2 years ago today that we actually took possession of Why Not. We actually closed on it on the 7th. And then we actually had it repositioned to our starting marina, Burnstone Marina in Punta Gorda.
Yeah, so the prior owner was nice enough to basically drive for us, relocate the boat from his backyard canal dock to the marina. We had found a slip for because we were completely novices of what does this lever do? Steering? What is this thing? And so he helped us get it to our marina where we could start learning the boat. And we actually moved in a few days later. We were still juggling bus and boat for the first few days, but this was the day that we first took a boat ride on Why Not.
And spent our first night.
And spent our first night on Why Not, actually, yes.
So yeah, it's amazing to think that we have had Why Not for 2 years. And we thought that by now we would be probably halfway or more through the Great Loop, which was the original intention of getting a boat. And we've done just over 1,000 miles since Punta Gorda. So we've done
some serious cruising. Yeah.
We've had some serious challenges along the way.
But we're enjoying the slow pace and taking the longer stays in places to tackle projects and just to get to know areas and people. And so at this pace, who knows how long it's going to take us to get around the loop, but we're loving it. We're not on a schedule.
Yeah, I think we quickly slipped into, I said this being a 2 or 3 year journey for the Great Loop. If we complete it in a decade, that's fine. And we're loving this slow pace. We're loving getting to know towns. When we get to a great town that has availability like we did with Sanford, it's like there's no reason for us not to stop and enjoy these amazing experiences. I think that's what we're ready for in our adventures.
And monthly stops are so much more affordable on boats. Boats nightly stays in marinas are outrageous. Monthly is better than RV prices sometimes.
Yeah, so the marina we were staying at in downtown Sanford, we were paying $660 a month with electric. To be steps from this amazing downtown.
And with an incredible $1 million panoramic view.
Yeah, we didn't share that view yet, but we will be.
True. Yeah, so that made it easy to stay, and that and our amazing dock neighbors and stuff. We had a really great social dock.
Oh yes, the most social dock we've been to so far, and we've been to some pretty social docks. This one immediately welcomed us in, took us out, showed us Sanford that evening, and then the night we left last night, they threw a party for us
Yeah,
as
and
their dock
well,
family. It
they're
kind of
always
made us cry.
yes, it did. They're always looking for an excuse for a dock party. So hey, Chris and Cherie are leaving. Let's celebrate.
And most of them came out this morning
Uh-huh.
and helped us with our lines and saw us off. And then they came up the river on their small boats and picked us up for lunch. So.
Yeah, because seeing as we'd only gone 5 miles away, and their favorite, the whole bunch of people from the dock go to this place called the Swamp House every Saturday or Sunday for live music and great food and drinks right on the river. They picked us up as they went by and got to show us the Swamp House. So we're still being social, even though we're out here at Anchor.
But hopefully the next few days we'll get. It's been socially abundant, awesomely abundant, but I am looking forward to some days where it's just us and the cat.
Yes. Oh yeah, it'll be nice to be chilling on the boat again.
Yeah. So we can hang out for a little bit if anyone has questions. We do have a video coming up. We're going to share all of the changes that we've done to Why Not over the last 2 years. We've got a lot of projects done here in Sanford, and we just kind of want to do one compilation video showing everything. So yeah, I'm going to tip the camera up and see solar panels.
Mm-hmm.
Only 2 of them. We're going for 4.
Yeah, you'll get the full story, but but, at least we got 2. So there's that.
We're also going to do another video just talking about what it's been like 2 years living on the Bayliner 4788, the model of boat that we purchased. Mm-hmm. The pros and cons of it. Mostly pros, but we like to share the downsides too. Yeah.
So I saw a few questions slide on by. There was a one about how's our hunt for the camper van going. We've been too busy with wrapping up boat projects to put too much effort into it, but we still do want to get a Class B before we next relocate to the bus. That'll be our teleportation vehicle.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out what this year ahead looks like for us as far as boating. If we honestly don't know when we get out to the ICW. If we're going left or right, or potentially over to the Bahamas, we haven't decided yet.
Yep,
there's a lot of things up on our plates right now, and
right now from Sanford to Jacksonville, there's really no choice. We go down the river. There's no alternate route. Then we're in Jacksonville. We've got a reservation for a while we do the Our Village rally and some other stuff there. But after that, it is wide open which way we head.
Mm-hmm. So we will try to time purchasing a camper van for when we are ready to head back to the bus and use that as our shuttlecraft. One of our impetuses for potentially getting it sooner was for filming for the RVers, but because it's going to work out that we're going to be able to meet Anthony Nally at the Our Village rally, and he's going to film us in an RV environment, that's not a push right now, so we don't have the urgency to get something. Yeah. And we can always borrow friends. We know we have lots of friends with RVs who'd be happy to allow us to film with theirs.
You want your RV to be on television? Sign here.
And there is a question about the RVers from Start the Rebellion. He says he heard that there's been some change of hosts. Nomadic Fanatic is out and replaced with someone named JD. So Nomadic Fanatic did unfortunately have to leave the show. JD was actually one of the original hosts. He is the
he was the big truck, big RV guy. He's one of the first batch of 4.
Yep.
But yeah, I think the producers will be announcing some changes on other stuff.
Yeah,
so we'll leave it to them.
Yeah, there are some announcements coming on that. But I'll let them handle that. We're not at liberty to share the details right now.
Yes, but they have some awesome cast stuff happening.
Some new cast coming in. Peter and John are already filming episodes. They met up with Anthony Nally out in Palm Springs, California, and filmed some of the start of some of their episodes. They were teasing on their Instagram with what some of their topics will be, and and we'll be. I think we're going to try to film 4 or 5 segments while we're at the Our Village rally, so it'll be crazy.
As many as we can manage.
Captain Jesse asks, is Why Not's engine going to need a really good running? We actually had the turbos rebuilt while we were in Sanford. That was one of our major projects.
And then we actually took the boat out about 2 or 3 weeks ago. We did a weekend on the lake and did give the engines a really good workout to test all of that work. And so far, everything seems good. But
But yeah, we will when we are not in narrow passages and no wake zones. We always try to get 5 to 10 minutes up on plane every about 3 hours, which is what is recommended for our Cummins engines. But yeah, everything. Well, hopefully we're,
Yeah.
of course, doing our engine inspections every morning before we set out, and watching for any anomalies that might have cropped up while being still for so long. But we did get the boat out a few times while we were there, so
Yep.
so that was good.
Yeah, so we've got over 100 people here hanging out with us. This is nice. I'm going to swing the camera around and give another little view up the waterfront. Look at that. The reflections are just... I love this time of day. There's definitely something swimming over there. Be a good time for the alligators to show up.
There was a big one out there.
Oh, yeah, actually, I got some drone footage of this huge alligator. We'll eventually be sharing that when we get around to producing this, going back down the river segments. But, yes. Okay. Okay, let's go back now.
All right, so start through volume. Want to know any thoughts on the approximate when the RVers might air? So they originally were aiming for end of 2019, but the response has been so positive, and sponsors are signing on to make it happen, which is a big part of public television, is having those sponsors. So the production is looking like they're going to try to push it and potentially get out by late summer or early fall right now. So we're pretty excited about that.
But yeah, and because it is the nature of how shows work on public television, is when the show is released to local channels may show it whenever after that initial launch date. It's not like network TV where everything is in sync, and it comes out on November 9th. It might be in different times on different channels, but it will also be ending up on streaming services like Amazon and Hulu and Netflix and who knows what else. So yeah, so it'd be hard to say exactly what day, but as soon as we have anything to share, of course we'll be sharing it.
Yes, and we'll hopefully be doing some content with the producers of the show and with Peter and John and some of the other cast, doing some collaborative stuff to ramp up for it as well. So lots of fun stuff coming up. Let's see. Terry wants to know, did we convert one of our toilets yet? So we originally thought that we might convert we have two vacuum flush commodes on our heads on our boat. And we originally thought that we might convert one of them to a composting toilet just to give us an option for pump outs. But so far we've been getting 10 to 14 days on our tanks, and it hasn't been an issue. We have been able to find pump outs when we need them. So it hasn't been a priority at this point.
Yep. They've had way too many other projects that are much higher on the priority list, and a lot of them have gotten tackled lately, which has been great.
Captain Jesse would like to know, what do we think of marathon coach RV conversion buses?
They do some of the nicest ones out there.
Yeah, we toured their facilities when we were on our bus hunt back in 2011. Really great people, great facility. If you've got $1.5 million to $2 million to put into a bus, go for it.
It's kind of the go-to bus conversion place for sheiks, and basically, if you got chic money, this is where to get your bus done.
Captain Swinno, do you feel Why Not is more powerful with the new turbos on the Cummins engine? So they're not new turbos, they're the same turbos rebuilt.
Right.
And basically the reason we had them rebuilt was the seals were starting to leak. Yep. And then when they got them off, they realized how heavily carbonized they were.
Yeah, so I don't think there's any performance impact from the changes we made. It was just basically a maintenance item that, these were 20-year-old turbos that had reached that point in their life where they needed to be rebuilt. So it's just, keeping up on top of an old boat.
It's just time.
Yep.
So there's a follow-up question is, when we had the initial inspection of the boat, why didn't the mechanic say the turbos needed rebuilt? That's really not something you're going to know until
they start to leak.
Until they start to leak or you take them off. So they didn't start leaking until the last few months before we got to Sanford.
Right.
At the time of our survey, and for a year after that, they were just
Were fine.
So
there are many things on a boat that just show up, wear out over time, and you just need to be ready to deal with those projects to replace them.
After use. I mean, the prior owner hadn't used the boat all that much, and he was slow cruises, and he probably didn't get it up on plane very often. So the carbonization just built up over time. But yeah, we have noticed significantly less smoke, almost no smoke now when we start up the engines and run it up plane. So that's been really nice. And yeah, so far engines are working, seem fine.
Yep. Yeah, we've got.
We're having no issues with them before. It's just we were noticing some oil dripping from the turbo bushings,
and
that was we didn't want that to become a bigger issue.
That's a problem that would just keep getting worse until eventually it went critically bad, and that could be a very bad day. So if you see those drips starting, you might as well get ahead of it.
Yeah, we saw a couple small drips when we were in Fort Pierce last spring, and we were dealing with the generator swap out, and we had the mechanic then look at it, and he says, this is something you'll want to address probably in the next 1,000 miles. Yep. You're probably good for, good
for the season.
Good for the season. So he says, just have it on your agenda to address. That's your next prolonged stay. And we found some mechanics in Sanford and took care of it. Yep. Gary says, looks like you're on the river. And indeed we are. If you're just joining in, we are at our first night back on the St. Johns River after a 4-month stay in Sanford, Florida. Starting our cruise back up to Jacksonville. We'll take about 10 days to do that.
It's like we're anchored in the jungle again. Yes. I love this spot because we're so close to civilization, but here you're just like in Wild Kingdom. It's just big, beautiful, mossy trees and birds and manatees and alligators all around.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it because we came up in the fall and we'll be cruising in the spring. So should be some different vegetation. Maybe we'll see some blooms in the hyacinths and
and hopefully more manatees out too, and more alligators should be more on the surface too. Somebody asked about Admiral Kiki.
Kiki, you want to come over here?
She's sitting up here in her admiral's chair. You like being back on the water?
Kiki. Yeah. Yes, one of the projects we did while here is we had new canvas done.
Oh yeah.
On the front, and we had the glass enclosure, the vinyl enclosure done. So that's brand new for us. That was a project that was long overdue. If you've been watching our videos, the old ones were pretty scraggly. And then we went with no canvas on the back, and thus we tried to do a more ingenious solar installation, but you can see we did some pool noodle engineering thanks to Joe, the computer guy, who's in the chat room. He was over here with us and helped us come up with this temporary install when our fabricator flaked on us last weekend. So
instead of coming to install the 4 solar panel mount that was designed, we ended up just getting 4 solar panels delivered, and sorry, I can't do it. I'm overwhelmed. It's like, oh, oops.
So it's nice of you to tell us after a month.
Yes.
And when we're supposed to be leaving in 3 days.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, we did get, figured out how to do a makeshift mount for at least 2 of the 4 panels, and we, basically today, during daylight, we're break even on power. We're not really charging the batteries much without all 4, but we're break even during the daytime. So we'll hopefully be able to minimize our generator needs on the trip down the river.
We were getting about 3 to 4 hours a day of generator time is what we were using on the way up. So we'll see what it is on the way back with having a little bit of solar. We have a total of 720 watts up there.
Yep, and those are solar watts, which means in ideal conditions, basically on a cold day at the equator at high noon. And so people get really optimistic when they see the ratings on solar panels, but the more you have, the better you are.
Yeah. So the ultimate goal is to have 1440, and we hope when we get to Jacksonville we can find a fabricator who's maybe got a little more experience and is able to help us come up with a better solution and get all 4 panels up there and the ultimate design that we have in mind for it. A couple of questions. Doug wants to know, what is the ballpark cost of having the turbos rebuilt? I'm trying to remember. I haven't gone back and looked at all of the costs.
It wasn't outrageously expensive, but
it was time-wise.
But it was time-wise, and then just how the schedule kept slipping and stuff was really frustrating.
I think it was because they were rebuilt by a Cummins shop, so they were sent up for that. And I think it was about $800 or $900 each to have it done that way. And then the mechanic's time and Chris's time. Chris actually apprenticed on it and did a lot of the heavy lifting on it, of getting them off and getting them out of there, which was really where most of the cost was.
It's a lot more. The labor of the installing and removing, or removing and installing, is the biggest part, and that was 2 engines, 2 turbos.
Yeah, I think the mechanics charge us like 12 or 15 hours total for disassembly and reassembly, and I know they were on the boat a heck of a lot more than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't remember the exact total. I think the total bill was somewhere around $3,000 to $3,500. I don't know. When you get boat bucks, it's like
you try not to think about it.
Yeah, you just. But it was money that we knew that we needed to spend, and we had we were prepared for.
Yep.
So, in having the expenditure here. Let's see. If Matt would like to know, are you still in love with our mattress? If so, are you going to replace the one in the bus? We still love ours in the fifth wheel. So we did a video right after we got the boat where we were looking for a new mattress for our front V-berth.
Yeah, when we moved on board, the boat had a Select Comfort air mattress that was basically had a choice of the selections was uncomfortable or very uncomfortable.
Pretty
were
much.
the two selections that it had, and so we very urgently went out and found the mattress. And actually, we went to Big Lots just because we wanted something right away. We didn't want to have to deal with having something custom made for a boat.
Yeah, and we'd already gone through the process on the bus of doing Helix and Purple and Lisa and doing this mattress swaps. I got tired of doing that.
Well, and also on the boat, because we've got a little bit of a V, we needed something we didn't mind chopping the corners off of with a saw or scissors or whatever. And so we got to Big Lots, got the cheap, simple mattress, and it was wonderful.
Yeah, it's called Zeopedic. And yes, nearly 2 years later, we love it. And we have a brand new Helix on the bus that we had just installed like a year before we got the boat. I don't know that we'll be quick to change that out because it's pretty decent, but when its time is up,
go back to the Zeopedic.
The Zeopedic will probably be our mattress of choice.
Yeah, it's cheap and easy. It's
$3.99, I think it was. I wish we got affiliates from Zeopedic.
I know. But yeah, it was a great mattress. Still very happy with it.
All right. Comment that our stream is very solid. What is our current connectivity? You're broadcasting just over your AT&T cell phone plan, right?
It's AT&T via the Pepwave Max BR1, which is going out the marine antenna on the roof, so that is helping with our upload broadcast. No boosting involved, but we have a antenna on the roof, basically.
Yeah. So we're using our AT&T Unlimited plan, which was from a year ago when AT&T allowed you to add hotspot data lines for $20 a month, which they just increased to $40 for our business customers. But yeah, that's the plan that we're using, and going through the Pepwave Max BR1, which is a high-end cellular embedded router, one of the many gear that we test, and we have the marine antenna on our
radar arch.
So you're just using just a single antenna on the primary port. And we have some boosters in that we'll be testing, but that's all work related.
Yeah, no internet. Yeah, this is our fun time. No internet talk.
Actually, at 8 o'clock, we will be switching over to our Mobile Internet Aficionados, which is our premium membership for the mobile internet site, and doing a Q&A with them. So that will be coming up soon. Sharon wants to know, do we have an ultimate destination in mind? And I guess it depends on what you mean by ultimate. We tend to not plan a destination more than a stop in advance.
Yeah. I mean, last I checked, there's like the heat death of the universe is scheduled for like 20 billion years from now. So I guess that's the ultimate destination, is when all the atoms stop vibrating in the universe. So there's that.
I mean, after 13 years of travel, and we are coming up on 13 years on April 1st, we learned having destinations. I mean, it's a stop along the way.
Stop. And some stops are amazing, and some stops they're happy to be short-term stops. But I don't think a destination. I really don't like the idea of a destination.
And Captain Jesse would like to know, what are the planned repair and maintenance updates that are in line for Zephyr. So once we get back to the bus, which is in storage in Texas, she will need all new wheels.
Not wheels.
No, sorry, tires.
Yes, her tires are due for replacement.
Yep. So it's been going on 8 years since we purchased the bus. So we had put new tires on when we bought her. So she needs new tires. She needs just the full general maintenance on the engine. She's due for oil change, filter changes, all that sort of stuff.
And then we actually have a crack in the muffler, so we need to have a exhaust shop do some welding on the muffler. And should be simple, but does need to be done, because right now the bus does not sound good.
Yes, so that will be, first stop is finding a shop that can handle tires, general engine maintenance, lubrication of the chassis, of course, and some welding work, or maybe a new muffler if needed.
And somebody just asked, so where do you buy bus tires? They're actually we used regular big truck tires, so they're cheaper and easy, relatively easy to find.
Yep, just standard truck tires.
Well, like I said, the 24-inch, most modern trucks are phasing towards the metric tires, but they're still, all the old big 18-wheelers use these tires, and they're easy to find.
Yep. The ultimate, Sharon meant, how far are you hoping to travel this season? And we don't know. Don't know. We'll figure it out at the end of the season where we end up. That's your answer. We, especially after plans just don't make sense.
Yeah, we've got our basically the next month scoped out, and after that, who knows? And we like being open to going the direction that something calls us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, we don't know if we're going left or right when we hit the ICW. We may stick around Florida.
We may do the Bahamas.
And find a safe place to store for the summer and RV this summer.
Or we might go up to the Carolinas and Georgia. Who knows?
Get up to the Chesapeake like we thought we would this year.
Yeah.
We don't know. We're going to figure it out and see what feels right. That's what's most important. And
yep.
The goal is to have an amazing life. That's the ultimate destination.
Oh wow, the light's just getting prettier and prettier right now.
You should give them another shot of the river.
Okay, I'll go do a little spin around. There we are. Oh, you can see birds flying in the reflections. Nice. And it gets so quiet here at night. Go towards the sunset. And we are the only boat within sight right now. This is the boating equivalent of boondocking, and we just love it. Oh, I'll give you a little view above of the panels. There you go. And that's the antenna we're broadcasting with, is one of those marine antennas up there. Ooh, and sure, your hair is sparkling in the sun. Okay. Okay. A little bit more over here.
So we have another question from Captain Jesse. Would we consider a minibus for a second road vehicle? And if I've watched some of our videos from last month, we are actually shopping for a camper van to replace our Mini Cooper, so that we have a combo second mini RV and vehicle that can fit in a regular parking space. So that is the goal there. There's a bunch of videos on that if you want to go check in on that. Are we still in Midgeland?
Fingers crossed we're not. Apparently they can happen anywhere
on the St. John's, but apparently it's worse on the lakes, and that when you get into the rivers, the current is enough that they don't actually hatch and fly around. So we're going to try not to anchor in lakes on our way up there and stick to the rivers and creeks. And hopefully we can avoid the midges, but it is officially midge season. It was not midge season over the winter, so we're not looking forward to what a midge swarm would look like during midge season.
Yeah, we did hear a story from one of our dock neighbors who said that they anchored in the middle of Lake George several years ago, and their anchor light was the only light around, and they figured being far from shore they would be fine, but that just meant the midges from every shoreline came to them, and their entire boat was covered. They were in completely dire circumstance.
All right, I think we'll go ahead and end this. No more questions.
Okay.
We're going to get ready for
Our work call.
We have a work call at 8 o'clock. So if you're one of our mobile internet aficionados, we'll be taking questions on mobile internet.
All things internet related, yes.
So yeah, we do that twice a month with our premium members over at mobileinternetinfo.com. And stay tuned here on the personal channel. We'll be catching up a lot of content on the boat modifications that we've made, some of the downsides of the Bayliner 4788, our time in Sanford.
Yes,
and
there's so much to share about our time in Sanford. It's just almost overwhelming.
Yes,
how much there is to share and how to try and convey it. So,
all right, guys, have a wonderful rest of your Sunday evening. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on up the river or down the river. We're technically going down the river north,
but up on a map. I'll give you one more final pan around of the pretty reflections here. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's a go-fast boat going down the river. Right at sunset. Okay, guys, I'm going to cut this stream off. Thank you all for joining us.